In this episode, I have my uncle's 2018 F-150 in for a full interior and exterior detail. This is his primary vehicle and uses it daily for his excavation business. It was originally owned by my cousin, who sold it when he was upgrading vehicles. I start with a pre-rinse to try to remove the layers of dirt and mud before attempting any form of contact wash. Normally I will start with the wheels before rinsing the paint, but it was late in the day and I was not concerned about water drying on the paint. I focused on the wheel wells and running boards as these had a substantial amount of buildup and needed to be flushed out. The wheels and tires were cleaned using GlassParency wheel and tire cleaner diluted 5:1, along with an assortment of wheel brushes. I have found this to be a very effective tire cleaner, removing the majority of the browning in a single pass, and can be an effective rim cleaner when the wheels are not too dirty. The cleaner has a very pleasant cherry scent. My cousin and I have ceramic coated almost all of his vehicles when he owned them, and I thought we had coated this as well. I was starting to become concerned when the water beading was already gone on a coating that was only a few years old. We never ended up finding the time to coat this truck, so he maintained it with weekly washes and using P&S bead maker as a drying aid. This constant maintenance and protection kept his truck looking incredible for the years he owned it, but the layer of bead maker was long gone. Trying to restore the water beading because I thought there was a ceramic coating, I tried a few products and processes on the truck bed before pulling it into the garage to complete the wash. I start with using rinseless wash and a clay towel to see if it's just bonded contaminants that were clogging the coating. This was not the case, so I moved on to water spot remover. This produced paint that beads, but only because the surface was squeaky clean and had no protection. Once back inside, I completed the same steps around the remainder of the vehicle. The interior was in need of a deep cleaning. Luckily, the majority was loose dirt and dust, with very little staining on the carpets or seats. I start with an initial vac to remove the bulk of the dirt and dust before using a blowout gun on the carpets, cup holders, and doors. I have found that moving straight to the blowout gun when there is this much dirt will create a cloud of dust that takes forever to settle. All interior plastic seats and windows were wiped down using DIY rinseless wash. The emulsifiers in the rinseless solution break down the dirt and oils on the panels and seats on contact. Panels were finished using DIY Detail Clean and Protect, which leaves an OEM satin finish while leaving a layer of UV protection behind. The carpets were pre-treated using Encap Releaseit DS2 and then agitated with an assortment of drill brushes. This is my go-to combination for carpets that are lightly soiled. DS2 will crystallize when it dries and can be sucked up with the final vacuum along with any remaining dirt particles. These black spots are artillery fungus, which you will normally find on vehicles parked next to wooded areas or flower beds with mulch. These spots are extremely stubborn and leave a dot on the paint that is difficult to remove. The only product that I've found to be effective is Goof Off. However, I have heard peanut oil is effective at removing them as well. The wheel arches and tires were dressed with Meguiar's hyper dressing, diluted 4 parts to 1 for the arches and 50-50 for the tires. The dressing was applied to the tires using a brush, which helps apply the product evenly on these knobby tires.
The room that we stayed in, there is a sort of dreamish element running to it.
Finally, the detail was finished using DIY Detail ceramic gloss to give this truck 4 to 6 months of protection and gloss.